It may be the middle of December, but Harvest Day is coming soon.
Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, December the 12th, 2022. Only a couple of weeks before Christmas. It's coming very, very fast. I know I have a lot of things to do yet before that, but just like everybody else, it seems to be the season for stress. So this is vlog number 294, and as I said, it's Monday, December the 12th, and yeah, let's jump right into what I have been working on. And I think you've seen this before, but now I have the outer border on it. This is the Mosaic Stars quilt. The pattern is by Stephanie Stitches. Excellent pattern. If you're like this and you're thinking of doing it, run over to her Etsy store. Just do a search, you'll find it, and you can pick up this pattern. But I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out, and now it's sitting on Lucy waiting to be quilted. That may not happen for another week because I've got a lot of other projects I have to finish up before then. I feel like I'm tripping over my tongue this morning. Excuse me, probably am because it's 6:30 in the morning. But let's move on, shall we, to the next project. Now this is a work in progress, and there is a mistake. But an easily fixed mistake. Of course, Walter spotted it yesterday when I showed this on Stephen and Walter Live. These are 4 of the blocks out of, I think there's 24 in total. So there will be 6 of these squares made for the quilt once I get some more of the blocks done. And there is a little bit more to go on these blocks. But if you look at this block down here in this bottom corner, you'll notice one of these things doesn't belong. This piece, these 2 pieces are in the wrong spot. So yeah, I have to rip those out and fix that. And I didn't notice it. Walter did. We were at a sew day on Saturday at our local club, just a few of us. And I was getting a little punchy by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think that's probably when I assembled this piece. Luckily, he found the mistake. So right now it's easy to correct, but I need to go and look at the other blocks that I did to make sure they don't have this same mistake in them. So that's a project I have to do shortly. And yes, these are not sewn together. They're just, this little quadrant is sewn together. Okay, so that's all I've been working on, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about those 2 things in a lot more detail that's more appropriate to quilters in tomorrow's Idiot Quilter. But now let's move on, shall we, to YouTube. Now, this is the time of year when everybody wants to watch all the holiday movies. Some of them are the classics, some of them are brand new, and a lot of them are those Hallmark, ones. Rich woman comes out to the country, feels very lonely, doesn't have a boyfriend, or has broken up with her boyfriend, or has gotten a divorce from her husband, or something like that. She just wants a quiet little family Christmas in a small town, and it always looks very picturesque. It's one of those New England towns, where the snow just seems to be a decoration, not a major phenomena. And as she's walking through the streets of the town, comes this hunky guy who looks pretty much like a country bumpkin, but he cleans up really nice partway through the movie, and she finds out he's got lots of money, and she falls madly in love with him and his money, and they're together, and it's a happy Christmas for all. Yeah, basically the standard plot of any Hallmark card, or movie. But lately they've been, bringing it into the 21st century, and now they have same-sex couples involved with this, and, it's the woman who is rich and the poor guy, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, but it's always the same plot. But something, there's something comforting about that kind of thing, isn't there? And that's why so many of us gravitate towards them. We just want a happy ending, and it's that time of the year. And sadly, this time of year brings a lot of sorrow to many, many people. So anyways, I found a playlist of YouTube movies. These are full-length movies. I think you may get a commercial or 2 through them, but they've got them all. They've got the classics, they've got the Hallmark. They've got some new ones in there. So if you are binge watching on your computer or on whatever device that you watch YouTube on, then you might want to get yourself a cup of hot chocolate and check out this playlist. This week's YouTube channel has everything to do with Christmas because it's Christmas movies. Yes, did you know you can watch some classic and some new Christmas movies right on YouTube itself for free? You may get a few commercials in them as well, but there's quite a selection here of videos to see. Of course, they have a lot of the Hallmark Christmas specials, which are all pretty much the same thing, but you've got classics like A Charlie Brown Christmas, Peppa Pig full episodes, if you're into Peppa Pig. I think that's more of a British thing. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a Julie Andrews special, Frosty the Snowman. A lot of these are from ones I remember as a kid as well. But there's quite a selection here. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, I think that's they say that's an animated version. But yeah, quite a few to choose from, and some you may never have heard of before as well. So, you can try something new. So if you're looking for that kind of, Christmas feel, you're trying to get into the spirit, so to speak, then you might want to check out the listing of Christmas movies that you can find on YouTube. So the link for that playlist is in the show notes. However, you can find Christmas movies just by doing a search for Christmas movies on YouTube. It's very, very easy. You will find a link for Sew and Craft with Me. That's an ongoing thing. I don't know if I will be online this week. More about that later on, and I'll explain why. But, check. If you're sitting at home alone, you want some company while you're sewing or crafting or whatever, just click on that link, and if I'm here, I will connect with you, and you'll know if I'm here or not because it'll take me less than a minute to connect. And there's a link for Stephen and Walter Live. We talked, as usual, about whatever came out of our head. We did get some great recipes, though, for how to make your cranberry sauce this Christmas and for braised carrots and some other foods as well. So, if you want some ideas for Christmas dinner this year, check it out. There's also a link for my Idiot Quilter of last week, where I reveal the Christmas boxes so far. And speaking of that, there will be, coming up this week on Wednesday, the next installment in Stephanie and my Missouri Star Quilt Christmas box reveal. And this time we're doing days 9 to 16. So spoiler alert, when that comes out, we may be slightly ahead of where we should be, will be. Well, yeah. So, you may not want to watch that until later in the week if, you want to be surprised. And Stephanie and I are doing just that as well. We do not know what's in that box. We don't watch any of the spoiler videos out there. You see our live reactions. Well, semi-live. We pre-recorded on a Sunday and put it up on a Wednesday. But you'll see our genuine reaction to what's in that box as we discover it. And we also did yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live, we did a reveal of the next 5 items in the Kawartha Quilting Company's Santa Sack. And I have to say, I am impressed with that one too. So I think I got 2 really good Christmas boxes this year. I really do, considering this is my first year of ever doing that. And also I got another box. It's not a Christmas box. It's a subscription to a company called Sewers Club. And I've decided to try this year, or this year coming, a subscription box. I've never done that before. So I got my first one the other day. Now, I have only opened it up and closed it up. I took a quick look at what's inside, but I didn't pull any of the fabrics out. I got the box that you get 15 fat quarters in each month. So I'm going to do a more in-depth reveal of that tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. So if you're interested, tune in. And there's, of course, our episode 84 of So Chatty. We talked about tension issues with sewing machines. Now, we are no expert on adjusting tensions, but we do know how to, if we have a problem, what you might do before you get into drastic measurements of changing your tension settings on your machine. So you might be interested in seeing that. And I apologize right off the bat. I didn't realize it, but apparently someone did, and they pointed it out to me. I can always, count on my subscribers to point out my mistakes. Thank you so much for that. He says sarcastically. No, but yeah, seriously, I do appreciate constructive criticism. But I guess my hands were a little bit in the way on when we were talking about bobbin winding. I didn't realize that when we're shooting it. Um, I'll try to do better in the future. What can I say? It's not easy making videos. Okay, so that takes me to looking out my window. So I'm going to show you two pictures today. This first picture, let me flip it up here. This first picture is looking out from my Ring doorbell into our front lawn. And yes, what you are seeing out there is snow. We got snow yesterday. Now, they said it wasn't going to be a lot, and it's not. By standards of, any place else in Canada, this is not a lot of snow. I have another picture, though, I took as the snow was falling. And there it is. And it is pretty. Actually, I think it had stopped snowing at that point. Walter had been outside and did some shoveling. But it does look pretty. I have to say that about it in the trees and things like that. Okay, there it is. It would be nice if we had this tiny amount for Christmas Day, and then on Boxing Day, it can all melt. The end of that. Now, they are predicting, if we take a look here, just let me do a little presto changeo. Just bear with me as I get things going, right? And here we have the forecast for this week. Let me blow this up a little bigger. Okay, currently it is -5 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit anymore. Actually, a quickie way to figure out Fahrenheit, and it's a bit rough. Add the Celsius number, multiply by 2, add 30. So -5 and -5 is -10, 20. It's 20 degrees. I don't think that's right. When you add two negative numbers together, do you get another? Yeah, I think you do. So anyways, so much for that idea. I don't know where I heard that for, but I don't think, well, it could be around 20. I'd say it's probably more in Fahrenheit, around 30-ish or 28-ish, something like that. Anyways, the forecast for the week right here is saying that today, now it's already saying that the high today is going to be -1. And on Tuesday, but it's going to be sunny. Tomorrow's going to be sunny, high of 0. Wednesday, a little cloudy, 0. Thursday, this is the one to watch out for. That's not snow they're talking about. They're talking about rain, and it'll be 2 degrees. Yeah, well, that's going to wash away anything we have left of the snow at that point. And Friday looks the same, and with highs of 2. Well, that's Bobby. And we don't look like we have snow in the forecast at all. This goes up to a week from this Wednesday. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to get colder then. Who knows? Who cares? It's weather. It happens. Yeah, we have no say over it, do we? Okay, so I thought you might be interested in seeing that. And let's go on then to what's next here? Yeah, what's pissing me off this week? Oh, Christmas time is stressful, right? You got to figure out what you're going to eat. You got to figure out what you're going to give to people. You have people bugging you, as I said last week, with their hand out looking for all kinds of donations for this cause, that cause, and the other cause. And, no wonder some people feel like Scrooge at this time of the year because, you just get tired of it all. Everybody wanting a piece of you, kind of a thing. Some people are alone at Christmas, and that's sad. Nobody should be alone at Christmas, but unfortunately, there are people that are alone. Just as an aside, one of my subscribers said to me when we were talking about Christmas boxes, she had gotten one of the boxes as well. And she says, yep, that'll be her only gift this Christmas. And that made me feel bad. But anyways, there's mixed feelings at Christmas, I guess is what I'm saying. There's happy moments, there are sad moments for a variety of reasons. So, what does our Ontario government give us for Christmas? Well, first of all, they've given us the blessing of them not being at work. They have finished for the year. The legislature is now done for the Christmas break, which runs until the middle tail end, I think. I think it might be the 21st of February when they come back to the legislature and to do their job. Okay, they bitch about how many holidays teachers get. Give me a break. Politicians do not work that many days out of the year. Okay? Great work if you can get it. Great pay, too. But anyways, so they're off frolicking around and having a merry old Christmas. Meanwhile, what did they give us for Christmas? Well, first of all, let's talk about in our province, our premier has decided that if mayors want to apply for what they call stronger mayor powers, they can get them. So, John Tory, the mayor of Toronto, the largest city in Canada, he has decided that he should have those, and he's been granted them. And it's big controversy in the city of Toronto. Councillors are saying, wait, this is chipping away at democracy, and it is. The mayor is elected like everybody else on council. He should have a vote on issues just like everybody else. But if he can turn around and essentially veto whatever the council wants, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's kind of what it is. He can do that. And he's claiming he's not going to use them that way, the powers for that. He's not going to abuse the system. But he was the first mayor to go ahead and say, I want them. Now, the Ontario government was only granting this application to two mayors, to the mayor of Toronto and the mayor of Ottawa. The mayor in Ottawa, along with his councillors, they said, no, we don't want any of that, and they rejected the bill. It is now written into the laws that they can do this. And of course, our premier, I don't know why he gave this power to it. Well, yeah, I do know. What he wants is for more of the responsibility for major projects, infrastructure, things like that, to fall on the heads of municipal councillors or municipal councils. And he is giving these mayors, the power to do what they want, what they feel is right for their city. Well, one man making those decisions, I don't think that's a good thing. Let's see, where has that been bad in history before? Can we say Hitler? Can we say Mao? Can we say Mussolini? And maybe you think that I'm being extreme here, comparing these mayors of cities to those kind of dictators. But yeah, I guess a dictator has to start somewhere and work their way up to the top. So thank you. Merry Christmas. Love that gift. Okay. Fortunately, that gift doesn't affect me at the moment, but who knows? Down the road, all mayors may be getting this. So that's one of the little gifts under the tree. How about the gift of health care? Well, it would be nice if we had the gift of health care, but we don't. It's a lump of coal in our sock, basically. Our healthcare system is broke. It gets more broke with every day. It's not just hallway medicine anymore that they used to call it. It's people dying in halls because they're not getting the medicine, because there's not enough of the doctors and nurses and other people in hospitals, because there's not enough money, because the government is sitting on a wad that they're not distributing out there. They're trying to break the system. Doctors now have said that they can turn around and reduce their workload by getting rid of some of their patients. What? It is very difficult to get, if you don't have one already, a family doctor in this province because there's a shortage. Now doctors are saying they're overworked. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. That's great. Lovely. When we throw the tree out in the garbage, we can throw Granny out there too, because she died during Christmas. Yeah, no, maybe too much. Oh, schools. Well, they're about to go into 2 weeks of Christmas holidays in another couple of weeks, if they survive. Violence in schools is highest it has ever been in this province. Again, Not enough personnel, not enough resources, not enough money. Thank you, Ontario government, for supporting two of the key institutions in our province that should get the most money out of all the other areas of our province: health, care, and education. Well, we've just stripped them of that as well. And again, meanwhile, we're bragging we have a surplus of cash. Really, I know why, because you're not spending it where you're supposed to. And by the way, that cash does not belong to you, Doug Ford. That cash is mine and all the other taxpayers in this province. Get a grip. And you're not paying your fair share of taxes either, because you're a millionaire and you own business and you're getting all kinds of tax cuts, and you even gave yourself a 14% raise a year ago. Yeah. Let's see. How do you spell Grinch? Ford. And then, of course, there's sick children. They can't get the medicine that they need. You know, the drugstores can't find it. There's a shortage. Oh, yes, the government supposedly has a contract with major pharmaceutical companies to get a lot of this in really quick. Well, I still hear of people hunting for children's Tylenol. Even I've heard of some people made little trips down across the border, picked up a bunch there, brought it back. I don't know how you do that, because I think that's illegal. But anyway, bring it back, and they're distributing it in their neighborhoods to their friends and family and neighbors who need it. Well, in the spirit of Christmas, that's really nice that these people are sharing that. But they shouldn't have to. No. Again, thank you. Thank you, Ontario government, for supporting our children in their educational journey and keeping them alive. Not. And then, of course, we have the hungry and the homeless people. Oh, municipal governments are taking tent cities where these people have no other place to go and have been told that they could camp out on like a major church lawn in downtown Toronto, and they're coming in and cleaning them out, calling the police, ripping up their tents, kicking them all out. Merry Christmas to those people who have nothing. And where's our Ontario government? Where are they helping these people out? Yeah, they're not. They're on vacation. And you can bet some of them have gone to sunnier places like summer homes, residences, things like that in, south of the border. So, yeah, run away, run away. Um, what else is going on? Well, basically, they're just slowly chipping away at our democratic rights. They're chipping away at all the institutions that have been established by other governments, by us, the taxpayer, and that to look after each other. They're getting rid of it all. Merry effing Christmas to them. I hope Santa puts a lump of coal in their sock. And I'm sure they'll find a way of taxing Santa when he does for that. So, yeah, Merry Christmas to our government in Ontario. Okay, let's go on to an update on what's happening with my grow lights. I am absolutely astounded by this. Look at this crop. I swear, these things grow only at night. The grow lights are on for 16 hours out of a day, and they're off for 8. And every morning I come down when the lights come back on and go poof. Like this was taken yesterday. Today, it's even bigger. We have herbs coming out of our yin yang, and we've got a good crop of lettuce, and it's just about at the point where we can start harvesting it and eating it. And I think we're going to thin out some of these herbs and freeze them, like for cooking, kind of a deal, and maybe grow a little bit more lettuce under this. And as I think I mentioned before last week, my plan is I think we should get another one of these after the Christmas holidays, and yeah, start more things. And maybe come, maybe February or March, I don't know, start some pepper plants from seeds as well that we can transplant out in the summer. Because if you grow pepper plants from seeds when in our growing season, like you can't put them into your garden until things warm up, and that could be the end of May, you really don't start to get peppers on them until, the end of the summer, kind of a deal. So if we start them now under the lights or in another few months, we'll be ahead of the game and maybe have peppers, in July or something like that, which would be a nice time to have them. But yeah, I'm enjoying this, and it looks really nice. It's in our rec room, um, and it's green, and I love green in a house. And I don't mean the paint color. Wouldn't pick that for paint color, but anything that's living. Um, I love it. So yeah, if you've ever thought about this, about growing stuff under lights, I can tell you, I am not a gardener. Um, and this works. And it's very easy. Very easy. Okay. So yeah, that's my crop. I know some of you are thinking, you got any funny weeds in there? No, I don't, but it is legal in Ontario to do so. I think you can have up to 6 plants of, of the funny weed. But we don't do that. We don't, because we don't smoke it either. And I'm not going to go through all the things where, making oil out of it or butter so you can make your own edibles and things like that. I have a friend that does that. But to me, that's not a biggie. But it is legal here in Ontario if I so desired to do it. So I'm not breaking the law. Law. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay, so that takes me to my 3D corner. Well, what have I been making? I finished the chess set, and I do have a picture of it. Here it is. There it is. It's done. It took quite a while to do this. Thank you, Cheryl, for recommending I make something like this. These are all gnomes for the pieces. And I made that chessboard from scratch. Each one of those cubes I printed out individually. Well, I printed 9 out at a time, but there's 64 of them. I glued them all together. It's reinforced underneath on the bottom so that they won't fall apart if, the glue gives. And this picture doesn't do it justice. It looks better in real life. In some ways, I wish I'd made the figures a little bigger, but that's okay. Do I play chess? No, but it's there. I had the technology, I made it. So, yeah. Now, another thing about, let me go back here. Another thing about 3D printing. I bought, and I'm going to just find it here for you. Bear with me for 1 second. I just have to find the link. I bought a little device, and I think I told you about it, and I'm not impressed. Waiting for this to come up. Things are solved. There we go. Okay, I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is by Creality. Creality is the manufacturer of the 3D printers that I have. If you're into 3D printing, you've probably heard about this brand because it's extremely popular. Their printers are, okay for the money. I make them work, and yeah, they're fine. Well, they've come out with this little box with a camera. And this is a little wireless control, and it kind of plugs into your printer. And what it is it's got an app. You go to a web page, or you can go on your iPad or on your phone, and you can print from those. Not only that, you can watch what's being printed or monitor it through the little camera that fits through this system. And this little camera is supposed to do time lapse as well. Yeah, no, this is the most awkward thing to use. Does it do what it says it's going to do? Well, yes and no. It's kind of hit and miss. I'm looking on here now, and suddenly the price on this is $100. I did not pay $100 for this. That's how Amazon inflates their prices. I paid about $70. And if you don't want to get the kit that includes the camera, it's less than that. I hear people saying that's about $20 or $30 for it. But isn't it funny that Amazon, I only bought this, 2 weeks ago? And I paid like about $70. It's now suddenly coming up as $100. Yeah. So, should you spend the money on it? No, I don't think so. There's no advantage to this. They're trying to basically do what other products have been doing for a long time and doing much better, like Octoprint and things like that. And people use Raspberry Pis with it. I'm not into that at that level. And that's one reason why I bought this. However, it is basically a boat anchor. That's not saying I can't use it. I can. It just does not perform the way I wanted it to. For example, if you're doing time lapse, why is it the camera keeps going disconnected? I've played with their interface, which is very cumbersome. I just don't see it's not doing what I thought I wanted it to do. I could send it back, but I'm going to hang on to it because they are kind of doing firmware upgrades all the time, and maybe they will fix things up. But I would say save your money because I don't think you need it, and I don't think it's really worth it yet for that. So that's for all you 3D printer enthusiasts out there. And I know some of you know a hell of a lot more than I know about 3D printing, and that is fine. Right now, I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm making it all work. Okay, so that takes me to Blast from the Past. This is part 2 of when we got to Sydney in Australia, March the 2nd, 2018. Right now, I wish I was in Australia. The very first time we ever went to Australia, we were there for Christmas and New Year's. Or was that the second trip? No, I think that was the first trip. Yeah. And it was spectacular. I mean, it's warm. People have their Christmas dinner on the beach. Um, yeah, it's just making me wish I was there again. But this is the next best thing. Go down memory lane with my videos from our previous trips.
Catalyst, which we're not really sure. It's got floral displays and stuff in it. I don't remember we went in there last year or not. Here comes the list. Besides that end?
Okay, this is what it's called, a fernery. I wonder why. Are we not in a fernery? Well, we're in someplace. It's got a lot of tropical things. Here, hold it up. Oh, look what's behind the flavor. Ooh, it is hot in here. Humid.
Okay, this is the furniture. Okay, I got our ferns. Nice place to sit and have your coffee. Cherry trees. Some of the skyline of Sydney. And this is the gay district, Oxford Street in Sydney. Tomorrow this will probably be packed because of parade and everything. Right now it's pretty light. So we stopped at a place in Oxford Street for a beer and a toasty, which is basically a sandwich, it's a toasted sandwich, but they call them toasties. More shots of the streets of Sydney. So it's going to dusk right now. This is looking out over a balcony. See the lights in Sydney.
So that takes me to events in the past week. Well, we had Craft and Chat last Wednesday. That's always fun. Got a lot of things done. Actually, we did a lot of discussion about various things as well. And it's not only is it entertaining and fun and we get things done, but we also learn from each other. So if you've never been to a Craft and Chat, the next one will be the first Wednesday in January. And there'll be more about that when we get closer to that date. We had a sew day, as I mentioned, at the club. That was through Walter's instructor for his online sewing class. And that's where I worked on those and screwed up those squares for that quilt. I don't think I mentioned the name of that quilt. It's called Stars of Wonder. And I've had it laying around here for a while in bits and pieces. So once I get more of the projects I'm working on right now out of the way, I'm going to get that thing up and done. And Walter finally got around to putting up the outdoor Christmas lights. And so I'm going to insert a little video of what that looks like.
So here's the outside of our house. Walter got it all finished, all decorated. He's a little disappointed that his little snowman had bit the dust this year that he used to have in a bunk.
I might try to rejuvenate them. I'll put them downstairs.
Oh, he's going to try to rejuvenate them. He put them downstairs, so we may have a little snowman there. But as you can see, he's got lights up at the top over there, and the neighbors on this side are all lit up, and the neighbors on this side are all lit up.
Light on.
What, is the light on?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. That doesn't hurt. Gives me lots of bright stuff here. So, anyways, looks pretty nice.
And down the road, not that far away, join me if you wish for a Sewing Crafting Creative Day on January the 1st first day of the new year. Ring it in with me and others as we work on projects, talk, have a good time, talk about our Christmas, that kind of thing, while working on whatever we want to work on. So that's a special all day. I call it all day sew. I get corrected because it's not just for sewers. All day creative day, or a creative day, all day creative. I need a trickier name for this. But anyways, there'll be a Zoom link for that. Not yet in the show notes. Probably next week, I'll start running the Zoom link for that. And so that takes me to something else. Now, this is not guaranteed because it really depends on what our plans are for Christmas Eve. But I know, as I mentioned earlier in today's vlog, there are people that are alone at Christmas, and I think that is sad. I don't think anybody should be alone at Christmas. Now we're going to have a big gathering here on Christmas Day, first one since before COVID. I'm kind of looking forward to it, kind of not. Too many people, too much work. I know I'm going to be in pain the next day on Boxing Day from running up and down stairs in my house and things like that. But whatever, it's still, it will be fine. But the point is, I'm not going to be alone on Christmas Day. So, Christmas Eve. Now, we haven't done this in the last few years, but we have dropped in to Walter's sister and brother-in-law's place on Christmas Eve. However, the last few years, I think they've been going over to their son's, Walter's nephew's, place. Because, the nephew has two girls, two daughters, and they're getting up there now in age. They're around about 10 or 11 years old, 9, 10, 11, something like that, the two of them. And, grandma and grandma, Walter's sister and brother-in-law, they go over there on Christmas Eve. So that's fine. So we may be home on Christmas Eve, which is fine too. But if we are, we want to share Christmas Eve with our people out here. So we haven't figured this out yet. But when we do, I will definitely let you know for sure. It'll be a Zoom event. And what I have in my mind is we just get together, bring your favorite, have your favorite beverage, whatever that is. Maybe have a couple of Christmas cookies or whatever. We might do chocolat, whatever. And we just talk, laugh. If people want to share something they've created or something they like, maybe they have a favorite Christmas project, or they have a favorite ornament or something like that. Maybe there's stories to be told. And we just sit there and enjoy each other's company and share stories, kind of like we were all in the same room together at a little Christmas cocktail party kind of a thing. Maybe I'll have a couple of games or something we can play, maybe a couple of funny videos to watch. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking right now. It depends on what's happening. In fact, I'm leaning much more towards whatever to making sure this happens. However, I don't want to get your hopes up about this. Or maybe you're thinking, yeah, hell with that. We see you once a week anyways on a live. Do we need that again? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. We'll see. I will let you know for sure. Probably will let you know for sure next week. Oh, yeah, I guess I kind of have to, don't I? Yeah, this time is slipping by so quick. So anyways, stay tuned to whatever I put up on here and I'll let you know. And I'll probably also, anybody who's on my mailing lists, I'll probably send out an announcement about it that way as well. Okay, so we'll see. All right, so what else is coming up? Well, on Friday, there may or may not be a So Chatty episode. Don't know yet, because we are going into Toronto to visit a couple of friends of ours. They've invited us there for dinner Friday night, for turkey dinners, they said. Yeah, we're going to have turkey on Christmas. We'll have turkey then. We'll be turkeyed out of our minds, but whatever, gobble, gobble. And yeah, it'll be nice to see them because we haven't seen them since, early summer, late spring. I forget when the last time we got together. And we're just going to stay overnight and come back home on Saturday as well, because there's still things to do. But that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Yeah, so that's coming up. Looking forward to it. And I have a few events coming up this week too. Wednesday, I'm going to a show and tell at our local quilt store. It's all the people that took the class for that quilt called Lakeside, the one that's very colorful that you've seen already. I'd finished it, and we're going to show the quilts in real life. So that'll be fun. And then on Thursday, I have a sewing class. It's the block of the month. It's time for the next block of the month. I think this will be installment. Is this installment 3 or 4? I think this might be installment 4 of that one. And right now I'm working on a table runner that I want to gift to the friends we're going to see on Friday. And it's sitting on my embroidery machine. So after this, I got to get back at it because I'm hoping I can get that done, or most of it done today. It's a big project. Actually, you can see pieces over my shoulder hanging up there. That's the pieces. It's called Farmhouse Table Runner. I'll be talking more about that tomorrow on Idiot Quilter. Okay, so that's a whole lot of nothing for you today. And I hope you have a really great week. I hope you're not being too stressed out by, how quickly Christmas is about to arrive. And we'll see you next week for the vlog, if not sooner. Have a good week. Bye for now.